friends, welcome to VTech. Now we are going to discuss about Unit 5 in our embedded system. So the Unit 5 main name is nothing but the embedded system development. So till now we discussed 4 different units. So in the Unit 1 we discussed about the introduction to embedded systems, and the Unit 2 we discussed about the hardware part, hardware components what we are having, just like EDC, STLD subjects and MPMC subjects, like that different subjects we covered in the hardware path. And coming to the Unit 3 we discussed about software path, what are the softwares we are having, like that we discussed what are the softwares having, like that. And coming to the Unit 4, so this Unit 4 will be divided into 2 parts. The first part is nothing but the real-time operating system, and the second part is nothing but the HSD. There we discussed that the difference between RTOS as well as the GPOS. Okay, so GPOS versus RTOS we discussed over there. So what is this GPOS? So it's nothing but the GPOS is nothing but the general purpose operating system which we are using in our mobile phones, mobiles or else as well as our computers, like that we can say. So what we know about the GPOS? So the GPOS is a general purpose operating system which we can use by every person. If you are going to the real time operating system, so this is different from the general purpose operating system. The real time operating system what we are having, if you want to give the accurate timing result, then you need to go with the real time operating system. If you need general results, then you will go with the general purpose operating system, right? What is the difference between real time as well as the general purpose? See, here in the real time operating system, we must have some time constraints, time limitations are there in this real time operating system. If we are going to the GPOS, here we doesn't have that much of time constraints. If I am opening one file, depends on the RAM, the file will open. It will take the particular time, depends on the RAM freeness. But if we are going to the real time operating system, then it won't do like that. Means let's take an example. GPOS will use in the mobiles, whereas in the real time operating system we can use in the agricultural fields. The application is one of the application is agriculture. Why I am saying this agriculture means, just look into this agricultural based embedded system project. So I will take one sensor, soil moisture sensor I will take. Okay, so by using this soil moisture sensor, I will create one threshold value to pump the motor to moisture the soil. I will create one particular threshold value. If the threshold value decreases, if the content so moisture decreases by the threshold value, then automatically the pump need to turn on. It need to turn on automatically, and after that I will keep another threshold value to turn off the our pumping motor. Okay, at that particular time, if it reaches the particular threshold value, then the motor need to off. Here the motor need to on, and here the motor need to off. So like this, the real time system must be happens. Then only the agricultural field or else the any other fields will work. Another example is washing machines. So in this washing machines, we are going to give some particular time. Let's take an example of 35 minutes of washing. If I am giving, then it must wash within that particular 35 minutes only, countdown only. If it increases that 35 minutes, then maybe a chance of getting tear off our dresses like that. So this is the real time operating examples or applications, and the general purpose operating examples. In the coming to the HSD, so hardware software co-design we can say. So we are going to the unit 2. In this unit 2 we discussed about different hardware components which we are having in our embedded systems. If we are going to the unit 3, how many types of programmings are there in our embedded systems, like that we discuss. So we are going to combine these two, hardware and software components. Okay, hardware components as well as the software component. While combining these two, we are getting some of the errors. So by using this HSD concept, we are going to clear that problems in that particular unit 4.2. Okay, so by knowing all these concepts, now we are going to discuss about this embedded system development. First of all, let's go to the introduction to the embedded system development. So to develop an embedded system, we must need one IDE tool. Okay, so this IDE tool is nothing but the integrated development environment. Okay, so this IDE tool, what we are having, by using this IDE tool, we are going to write down our instruction. We are going to give our instructions by using this IDE tool only. Means I am writing a program, high level language program I will write. Okay, high level language program I will write. So by using the IDE tool, what is this IDE tool represents? This IDE tool, what we are having, this IDE tool will translate or convert our high level language to the machine understandable language. So we can say this one as a simply machine level language we can say. So this is the one of the major part in our embedded system developments. Okay, and next one is electronic design automation tool must be there. That one we can see in our ECA labs, just like PSpice lab is there, TINA lab is there. Okay, these two are the two different software IDE tools for our electronic design automation in a simulator concepts. Okay, and next one is an emulator. Hardware emulator is used for debugging the targeting boards. Means I am writing my instructions by using the IDE tool, and I need to dump this program what I am having into the hardware. Okay, I need to dump my program to the hardware. This concept means software to hardware forwarding concept is nothing but the, we can say this one as a emulator. Okay, so emulator hardware is used to debug the targeting board. And the next one is a signaling source, can be must be functioning generator or else any other signaling sources. We are having multimeter is there or else CRO is there. So these are all used to simulate the inputs in the targeting board. Means we can check whether the signal we are getting is a perfect way or not. We will check it. Okay, IDE is a fully integrated tool. It consists of simulators, editors, compilers, as well as the assemblers, as well as some more concepts like real-time operating system is there, logic analyzers, memory is emulator, EEPROM applications. Like that, it is there. The IDE tool consists of all these contents. Okay, it is used to define the processors and the particular version number what we are. Next one is IDE, integrated development environment. We already discussed that it is a software which has consists of text editors, class compiler, linkers, and debuggers we are having. So it is a software consists of simulators and editors also there, compilers, assemblers, emulators, logic analyzers, as well as the EEPROM is also there. It debugs, the IDE will debugs the single stepping and verifies the targeting system what we are having, and the IDE tool will process divided into different subparts. So main function as well as the sub function, it will divide and then we can work in these systems. Okay, right. What are the IDE tools we are having? If you are going to the 8051, so we are having two different IDE tools for this 8051 we can write. One is RIDE and the second one is Skill. If you are going to the Arduino, it directly consists of Arduino IDE. If you are going to PIC, then it consists of MPLAB. Okay, if you are going to the ARM7, so this skill will be used in ARM7 also, ARM also. Advanced Risk Mission IDE programming also we can run in the kill. Okay, so these are the IDEs we are having, right? And next we are going to discuss about the simulators. So till now we are using only one simulator to check the bugs while before connecting the hardware. That is nothing but the Proteus. Okay, so this is the only, till now I am using this one only to check the bugs in my program what I wrote, what I am going to dump in the hardware. Okay, this is about the IDE as well as the simulators what we are having. Next we will discuss about the what are the tools we are occurring, what are the files we are going to generate while compiling our system, while compiling our programming. Okay, next one, target level firmware debugging. So the target level hardware debugging is there. It is used to debug the firmware languages in the targeting board. So this technique is nothing but the circuit debugging or circuit emulation we can say. For target level debugging with Kill, we already discussed that. So we need to get the target board which is connected to the development machine what we are using. So it's simply we can say this one as a we need to connect our target hardware to the particular system where we wrote in our programming part, means where we wrote our instructions part. We need to select the debug option and we need to go for options for target and then change the use simulator or else to use. We can use the hardware contents directly. Okay, to see about target level firmware debugging. Next, we are going to discuss about types of the target level firmware debuggings. Okay, thank you.